Hello and welcome back. In today's video, we will talk about the best ways to prepare to deliver a speech in English. Giving a speech in public is one of the most feared forms of communication, but it is also an important skill in most corporate careers. Most of the fear of making a speech is related to the fear of the unknown, but this can be done away with when you prepare very well. After all, as the popular saying goes, good preparation is half the work done. When you prepare well, you remove the fear of the unknown, and that is the key. Here are the top tips to prepare to give a speech. Tip number 1. Understand your audience. It is important to know the audience well before even writing a speech. Audience analysis involves identifying the audience and adapting the speech to their interests and level of understanding. What is the age range of your audience? What is their educational and professional background? What are their interests? Why are you making a speech to them? What is the reason for them to attend your speech? That is, what do they expect or hope to take away from your speech? These are some very important questions that you must answer before you sit down to write that speech. The language, vocabulary, and terms you use in your speech will all depend on the answers to these questions. Tip number 2. Choose the right topic. Now that you have understood your audience, pick a topic that is interesting, meaningful, and relevant to them. Ensure that you have more knowledge about the subject or the topic than your audience does. If possible, pick a topic about which you are passionate. Your passion and enthusiasm will show through when you give the speech. Lack of enthusiasm from your part on the subject matter may cause your audience to lose interest or be less engaged with you. Tip number 3. Understand the purpose of the speech. Now that you have the right topic, how will you handle it? What will you say about it? A speaker must engage or hook his or her audience with a central idea or proposition. Just like writing a term paper, your speech should begin with a main idea or the central purpose of the speech. While planning the presentation, it is important to find an answer to the question, why am I making this speech? It is vital to be clear about the purpose, as that becomes the basis for your content. Tip number 4. Use as few words as possible. Often, less is more when it comes to words used in a speech. What you really want to do is convey your topic to your audience in a simple and interesting way. Keeping your speech crisp helps to engage your audience. Eliminate repetition, words that explain the obvious or provide excessive detail. Tip number 5. Gather more content than you actually need. When creating your speech, research and gather more material than what you need. Start with a lot of content. As you outline, section your speech, and put the content into each section, you will also start pruning it or editing it. If you start with more, you will be able to choose and retain the best material. If you start with less, you may not be left with a lot. Tip number 6. Practice, practice, practice. Practicing your speech several times contributes directly to your speech's success and your effectiveness as a speaker. Your goal is to sound natural and spontaneous and to feel comfortable when giving the speech. So spend time on knowing the content very well so that you can focus on other things at the time of the speech, such as engaging with your audience and answering their questions. Tip number 7. Use gestures. Your speech will not be read by the audience. It will be listened to and watched. Gesturing can be an effective element in your speech. Using the right gestures engages the audience and makes it easier for them to follow along. Practicing the right use of gestures is important, as is not overusing gestures. Good preparation makes all the difference to a good speech. Hope you found this video helpful. Use these tips to make your next speech a resounding, roaring success. Happy speech giving!